it referred to Isaiah 33:14, which says, "The sinners in Zion are afraid, fearful, sorry, fearfulness has surprised the hypocrites. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burnings?" And so the question is, doesn't Zion refer to heaven? Aren't we marching to Zion? Quoting an old hymn there, I think. And
Okay.
so what are they doing then? Sinners and fearful and hypocrites and so
Okay.
forth. If Zion refers to heaven.
The thing is that there are a lot of labels and passages, particularly in the Old Testament, that have been applied to heaven, because the point is that the system of God's people on earth is a type or an illustration of the greater system of the true church, of the true promised land. For example, heaven is called Canaan. Heaven is called the land of Canaan in some circles. Zion was really the city of Jerusalem, which was the called the city of David. It was called Zion. So just as we sing songs that talk about when we get to heaven, we'll be eating milk and honey. What songwriters have done, what people have done, what the Bible writers have done, is they have borrowed the language of Israel, of the nation of Israel, and they have imposed it on the future life. So when we talk about heaven being called Zion or the New Jerusalem being called Zion, it doesn't mean that that is where Zion is. It's simply taking the earthly label and imposing it on the world to come. I think God does it sometimes too. So what we are looking at is type and antitype. Now, when Isaiah spoke about the sinners in Zion are afraid, he's really using the language of his age. Isaiah himself, many of the prophecies that he wrote, he never understood the greater meaning of these prophecies. I think he believed many of them applied to physical Israel, because these Old Testament prophets never understood that Israel as a nation was going to be cast off. They never understood the reality that Israel was going to become a spiritual people instead of genetically Abraham's descendants. This was like a new revelation in the time of the New Testament. So they wrote these prophecies, and for them, Zion was Jerusalem, it was Israel. So that is how Isaiah would have understood it. But it is we now, because we understand the New Testament principle, we understand it refers to the people who are a part of the church. The true church of God today are the Christian body. The Christian body is what is now labeled as Zion. So we are Israel, we are Zion, we are the inhabitants of New Jerusalem, which is Zion. So the sinners in Zion are afraid. The people who have taken their seat among God's people but are really hypocrites will be surprised by what is coming.